On today's video, we're going to talk about a response to a YouTube video from SwitchForce called Fake Nintendo Positivity? Is it true? SwitchForce? Let's watch. What's going on, everybody? This is Zach Erickson from Nintendo Dads. You thought I was dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I am definitely not. I'm here and I'm ready to talk about Nintendo. So, today I wanted to talk about something that's really important, very interesting issue to me. By the way, this bar, also this bin with a can of spray lacquer. Anyway, today I moved a couple of weeks ago. Okay, this is one of the few rooms that's not unpacked yet. So today what I want to talk about is a video that was recently uploaded onto SwitchForce. It's called Fake Nintendo Switch Bias Forced Positivity on YouTube? Question mark. So, here's what the gist of the video for those of you. You can go and watch it, and I'm going to try my best to, and I'm sure I'm going to get his exact position wrong a little bit, and so hopefully I can be forgiven for that. But the basic takeaway that I took from it was that they get a lot of flack for being Nintendo fanboys, you know, that there's a lot of faked positivity, and the reasons that he gave were they cover what they want to cover. They don't want to, you don't want to cover things that people aren't interested in, that they personally are not interested in. And so when they do cover something, generally it's exciting. What I think is interesting, and I think for the most part, yeah, sure, I think that's great. We have a similar sort of philosophy at Nintendo Dads. However, I think that there are some things that maybe, and who am I, this guy? We've got hardly any listeners on our channel or viewers or subscribers, compared to SwitchForce, the almighty, right? Whatever. Having said that, I think that there are some takeaways or some things that I think that are worth considering if you are going to be a SwitchForce, that are important, right? That one of the things that he complains about in there that I took huge issue with, and I was like, that's it, I have to do a review video or a response, is that negativity is not well received on YouTube. And that is something that how do I say this? I am a psychologist by trade. I am a trained psychologist, and my response, so I am a psychologist by trade, by training, by whatever you want to call it, and my immediate response to that, or my immediate reaction, I should say, it was, who hurt you? No, that's not right. My immediate reaction was that is not, or that belies a problem. That tells us that there is something with the, and not necessarily, again, this isn't meant as a criticism, this isn't meant as like an attack, but what that tells me, if somebody is worried about the perception of their listeners on if they didn't like a game or not. So basically, let's paint this picture, okay? So you've got a YouTuber who has decided that they are going to, create a channel and create content around celebrating Switch games and the Nintendo Switch, right? So so far that's a given. What the audience, now any content creator, you need to be thinking, what does the audience want? And I'm not saying that that's not what SwitchForce is doing. Of course, that's what they're doing. But I think that what somebody wants is different than if they react positively to it. Does that make sense? Right? Like if, for example, I have said multiple times, I want the 3DS to die. I'm tired of it being around. There are rumors of this Mother 3D game coming out, which they're saying might actually be for the 3DS. If they put Mother 3D on the 3DS and not on the Switch, I'll be be so furious. And I don't. So what's important is that what my audience expects of me is for me to be honest, for me to give a genuine reaction. And I think what my audience wants, and you guys can in the comments, feel free. My audience wants to A, be entertained, and 2, for me to give my honest opinion about something. And so if you play a game, like what we want to hear, or at least, and this is me both as a creator and as a consumer of other video game reviews online, what I want to hear is an honest, authentic review of a game. Now, if it's a crappy eShop game that nobody cares about anyways, don't bother reviewing it, whatever. And I personally am of the opinion that if somebody gives you a review code and the game sucks, you may be doing them a favor in just not sharing it, right? I mean, who knows? It depends. I know different people have different, even within the Nintendo Net staff, I think that there is a variety of opinions on what to do if somebody gives a review code. Having said that, I think there are ways to be both negative and entertaining, right? And I think that that's so critical. One of my favorite, and again, I think that there's different styles, different people, whatever. One of my favorite creators is Jim Sterling. If you don't know who Jim Sterling is, and I mean even PewDiePie, right? Like there's lots of people who are critical in the video game world, and I think that authenticity is something that can be entertaining. You don't have to agree with everything that they say, and you may even find them toxic. But what I'm saying is that one thing that you cannot say about those people is that they are not authentic. And what I think, authenticity and entertainment go together. And authenticity is so important in the YouTube space and in just like podcast, because you have to be yourself. And if you're not yourself, well, then who are you, right? Like, I think that's, if you're putting on a persona, and I think maybe that's where my biggest problem with this whole question of forced positivity. Oh, we're trying to be positive. We're trying to tell you about things that we enjoy. Great, that's good. But if it's not good, I think the question is, do you still give coverage to it? Because honestly, I look at SwitchForce and I don't think that they are force positive. Like the other thing that I'm interested, like I don't really think that they're that force positive. The one thing that I will say is, with SwitchForce, is that I have always felt like more than anything, it's not even force positivity. It can come across, at least, and not just with SwitchForce, but there are lots of places where, what is your intent? What is your relationship with your audience? If your relationship with your audience is, hey guys, we really want you to like us. We hope you're really enjoying the content. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. That's great. But the problem with that kind of a stance, and I don't, like, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. But this is, like, honestly, sometimes we'll get feedback on Nintendo Dads, like for the podcast, which has way more listeners than this YouTube channel currently has as far as viewers go. But we would get feedback, and my response would be, first, to think, am I actually, like, what do I actually think about their feedback? Like, first off, there's going to be two pieces to it. There's going to be the content of what was said, and then there is the tone of what was said. the tone of what was said, right? Put the tone aside. Not important. Not valuable. Well, not that it's not valuable, but you're going to miss this if you are worried about this. Get rid of this. What is the content of the feedback? Do I agree with it? Do I disagree with it? If I agree with it, I will thank them happily. Hey, thank you for your content or for your feedback. I think you're right. Go from there. And then if I disagree, I usually just won't respond. Or I will politely respond with, you know what? Actually, here's why we do it the way we do. And then that's it. Right? But what happens if you are, and that, I guess our way is very focused on, this is what's important to us. We have thought about who we are, what our message is, what our tone is, what our brand is, all of that kind of stuff. We have done a lot of back end thinking about that. And so that when something happens, it's not really we know who we are. And if that resonates with certain people, great. And it has. But if it doesn't, well, whatever, right? Like, we're doing this because we enjoy it. And I think maybe it's a little bit different when you're SwitchForce or when you're some other big shot because you want them YouTube monies, right? I don't want to, like, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but you can't lose your soul in the process, is I guess what I'm saying. So do what you love, and the people will come to you. And again, this is coming from somebody, if somebody's looking at this YouTube channel thinking it's teeny tiny, well, probably, but I'm doing it this way. We have a very specific niche with Nintendo Dads. I would love to branch it out, but I think the name in itself also, it speaks for itself. And so all I got to say from one YouTuber, content creator, or whatever, and we've been doing Nintendo Dads since 2014, mostly with the podcast, and I would just say, you know what, just you do you, man, and don't worry about them haters. Dab on them haters if that's what you want to do. I don't condone that, but that's a thing kids do nowadays, right? So yeah, that's basically all I got to say on this. Don't worry so much about it. And if there's always going to be those negative consequences or those negative comments. So what? Let them thank them for their comments. Thank them, because they are giving those negative comments in a way for your benefit, and that's what they see as what they want. But that's not necessarily a great thing for you. So, anyways, this is all I got for today. I feel like I've rambled long enough. Thank you so much. Hey, you know what? Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, wherever it is in the things. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think on this. I'm curious. What are your thoughts on force positivity, on fakeness of the gaming YouTuber industry? I personally don't have the capacity within me, I think, to be phony with it, to pander to my audience. If my audience does not like what I'm doing, then I'm sorry, but also this may not be for you. This is just me with my opinion. So anyway, thanks guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all that you do. This is going to be an ongoing thing, probably weekly, where I just get on here and ramble. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Now my eye is watering. Oh, why? I'm just trying to make a damn video. Oh.